Hello, Truth Seekers. Happy Friday. Now, I'm going to share a couple of things that came through in my meditation lately. And one is pretty much about what's happening these days. And one has nothing to do with that at all. But I'm going to mention them because, to be honest, I don't really want to get into what's happening at the moment. It's so crazy. We are living in such crazy times that I just want to let this play out. And later on, I'll give you my comments on what it is. Look, everybody's feeling it at the moment. Everybody's feeling this kind of, whoa, what on earth? Just ride with it, just roll with it, and keep focusing on what we want. Keep focusing on the good. Keep focusing on creating our good future, and we'll get through this, okay? But what I did was I was talking to the emissaries in meditation, as I always do, and I asked them about karma. Because it's come up a few times in the therapies that when I've been talking to people about karma, and people worried that they're going to be stuck with karma, that they're creating karma, and they might have to keep coming back. Okay, and so I asked about that. Now, what I was taught, the very first thing that came to me was that karma is not a punishment. Okay, now lots of people talk about that you know, you're bringing lots of karma on yourself and you're going to be punished and everything like that. And what they're saying is that karma is not a punishment. Karma is literally, it is the accumulation or the creation of a lower vibration. Let me see if I can explain this the way that they explained it to me. When we go through life, okay, we choose to live in a certain way. Now, I know I've explained about service to self and service to others. Okay, if we live in a life of selfishness, a life of self-serving, and in that, remember, when you service to self, then you do damage to other people invariably because you are self-serving. And so you're not here to help other people, and so quite often you do damage, not just to people but to yourself as well. All of that puts you at a vibrational frequency which is very low. Okay, and so you are vibrating at a low frequency. Now, unless you sort that out, unless you fix that, then what happens is that you will leave that life with that vibration. Okay? And then that's where it comes. That's where it comes from. The vibration that you leave your life with is the one that you're going to come back with. Now, what does that mean? How does that affect you? Well, what happens is this. The lower our vibrational field, well, it isn't so much the lower. Whatever our vibration is what we attract to ourselves. This is ever so important. So what happens is this. Imagine that you left your last life with a very low vibrational field. You're going to come into this life with the same one. What's going to happen is that you are going to begin to attract similar experiences. You're going to attract experiences that you were attracting in your last life. Okay, I recently had some therapy with Anna Calandra, and one of the things that came out was that there was something that I've been carrying for 53 lives. 53 lives! I've been keep coming back and having the same issue, for goodness sake. So I'm hoping that I've been able to learn from that, which I'm going to come to in a moment. So, what happens is that you come into the life with that vibration and you start to attract the same experiences. How many times have you heard people who've got out of one bad relationship and went straight into the next bad relationship, left one abusive partner and found another abusive partner? These are what we are attracting to ourselves because of our vibrational field, right? So that's what karma is. It isn't a punishment, or if you want to call it in terms of that, it's our inability to fix our problems, and therefore we keep coming back. The idea is this eternal cycle of keep coming back until you learn your lesson. That's what we're always told. Well, what is learning your lesson? Learning your lesson is this, is being aware, having the acuity to see the lessons that keep coming to you. Right? And they're called lessons because we have to learn from them. And what are these lessons? These lessons are getting our backside smacked over and over again. But the trick is identifying that, understanding yourself, and seeing what it is that you keep attracting to your life. I'll give you an example. I had a very abusive father who was up his own bottom. And then I went on to marry somebody who was abusive and who was up her own bottom. Interesting, I married my father. And I kept on having that experience until I realized what it was. I realized what I was doing. And this is very typical, okay? This is why people keep having the same experiences. So how do we learn from it? What is the secret of learning from it? Well, the secret is seeing the pattern, and then what you have to do is you have to let it go. How do you let it go? Simple. You forgive it. You forgive yourself, and you forgive everybody else involved, and you let it go. But more importantly, you forgive yourself, because karma is something that you carry with you. Okay? So I've talked about the process of loss. The process of loss, which is where we are really when we've lost ourselves. We've lost the essence of who we are really. And so how we actually heal, the healing, the process of loss, remember, is denial. I can't believe it. Absolutely not. It hasn't happened. Oh, it has happened. I'm really depressed and really angry. Now I accept it. That's a great step. But the next couple of steps are the healing, which is I accept it and I forgive. Okay? And it's forgiving the situation, forgiving yourself, and forgiving everybody else. And then the last step is, now that I've forgiven, what is it that I have to learn from this experience? Okay? So in essence, releasing karma is going through all of those steps. You know, when you wake up, you actually die to your own self. It's like baptism. It's death and life, rebirth. And so we go through loss. We lose our identity as the person that we thought we were. We lose. And we have to go through that loss. But the release of karma is forgiving. I forgive myself. I forgive everybody. I forgive the situation. And then ask yourself and learn, what is it that I now need to learn from this? And once you've done that, karma is gone. The karma is released. Why? Because you have increased your vibrational frequency. And so what happens is when whatever you go out with is what you come in with. That's what I'm being told. Okay? So our job is to raise our vibration. How can we do that? Through forgiveness and through understanding of ourselves. Right? Don't try and understand everybody else. Don't bother. It's too big of a job. They don't even understand themselves. You don't even understand yourself 100%. So what on earth are we doing trying to understand other people? No. Compassionate, forgiving. Don't try and understand them. Your job is to understand you, and then to raise your vibration so that it's like going up steps. Right? And what happens is you get to a step, and if you don't change, you keep coming back and you're still on the same step. The idea is, in one life, jump up, go a step higher, so that when you come back, you're starting higher up. Now, I know some wonderful people can come here and they can go across all of the steps and end up, returning to source and being all of that. Well, that's lovely for them. But if we can get one step at a time, that's fantastic. There's no hurry. There's no time outside of this reality. There's no time, so there's no hurry. Okay? So that's the first bit. The second bit is, my question to them was, I feel like I'm on a roller coaster. This life is a roller coaster. Is this normal? Is this the plan? And they answered, yes and yes. Any surprise? No. Why am I surprised? I wasn't surprised. That's what I was expecting. But they said something really interesting. And they said that what we are going through these days, the ups and downs, the emotional roller coaster that we are on, is something that when we get to this place that we're going to, the golden age, the paradise, call it what you will, this time of love and unity and oneness, we will look back, these are their words, we will look back on these days with fondness. In fact, we may even look back on these days and miss them. Okay? And that, you think, wow, that's a bit hard to swallow, isn't it? But what they were saying was that these days are here because we will not be able to appreciate what comes without this. It's like the passing of the metal through fire to make it harder. Okay? But also they talked about contrast. And what they said was, without contrast, there is no life. Life does not exist without contrast. There is no health unless you've experienced illness. There is no good unless you've experienced bad. There is no right unless you understand what wrong is. And so what they were saying was that this extreme that we're living is our contrast, so that when we get to where we're going, and we're getting there, we're going to be there, that we will appreciate it all the more. How many times have we heard that? Don't worry, when you get there, you'll appreciate it all the more by having to wait. And that's what they're saying. And not only are they saying that, but they're saying that these times will be fond, we'll think fondly of these times. Why? Because these times are the making of us. This is where we are being proven, we're being tested, we're being tried, and we are being found able. Yeah? And so what they were saying was, live every curve in the road, every bump in the road, live it, breathe it, experience it, be in the moment, because these are the memories that you're going to take with you about how we got here. Looking back and saying, wow, can you remember how we got here? What we had to go through? Wow, those were days. Those were days. They say you never feel more alive than when you were close to death. Okay? And this is where we are. We often feel vulnerable and attacked and in danger. And that makes you feel very alive. These are, why do you think time is moving so quickly? Time is moving faster now than it ever has moved. Everybody's just saying about it. I just can't believe that this year has gone over like this. Why? Because we are in such intense times that it has all of our focus. It's like when you're doing something that when you're in your moment, in the zone, time flies. Well, we're in the zone, okay? And we're moving to a beautiful place, but enjoy the moment, enjoy this time, because it's what memories are made of. And we're going to be very proud as we look back. We're going to be very proud of where we were and what we did. And the only question is, what you were doing and where you are, is it something that you're going to be proud of in the future when you look back? And if it isn't, probably time to do something about that. And I don't mean become radical and do anything silly. What I'm talking about is more your attitude and your choice of what you choose to do these days and how you choose to help people. Okay? Now's the time for us to stand up. Now's the time for us to stand up and speak our truth. We must speak our truth, because the truth will set you free. Okay? There we are. So that's what came through in meditation. I recommend meditation to everyone. They are dying to get in touch with everybody. Meditate. You can open yourself up to them, and I'm sure they'll be there for you. Okay? Okay. Have a great weekend, truth seekers. I shall see you on Monday. Take care. Bye-bye.